Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got a good group of folks to speak with you tonight. We've got Brittany, we've got Donna, we've got Mark, Ed, Karen, Ryan, we've got Deanne, we've got Kimberly and Michelle and Tammy and Hunter. Did I leave anybody out, Brittany? I'm getting a no from Brittany. Or now it's a thumbs up. Does that mean yes, I did, or no?
No, you're good. I think
Okay.
you got everyone.
All right, great. Great. Oh, I see I see a few people that this is not your first time with us. I see Sarah. Sarah, we've seen you before. Hi, Sarah. Anybody else? You guys feel free to unmute yourself. We're letting folks in and everybody's kind of getting connected and all of that. So feel free if you like to unmute yourself and just give us a shout out. Don't worry about interrupting anybody else. We love seeing you and we love hearing from you. Okay, go. All right. So we're pretty solid, Brittany, with folks coming in. Is the waiting room empty?
Waiting room is empty, and I think everybody's connected to audio.
All right. Are you guys ready? If you're ready, raise your hand. We got, oh, okay. They can hear us. Very good. There's Hannah. Are you ready, Hannah? All right.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up from Hannah. Well, welcome, everyone. Welcome. My name is Michael Ferris. I'm the Dean of Enrollment here. I'm the guy that sends the emails and the text to you asking you to join us because, we love our students. And we've got a great program for you tonight. I am joined by a lot of wonderful people. You heard me give shout outs to everybody when we all came in. We've got a great program for you tonight. We got question and answer sessions. Well, honestly, we probably, I probably can't speak for everybody, but I probably can. We have just as much fun doing this every Tuesday night as you guys probably with joining us. We love doing this. We haven't seen students face to face in a little while, and we look forward to the time where we can do that again. So this is our opportunity to connect with you guys and go over some really important stuff. Tonight we are joined by our coordinator of instructional technology and distance learning, Mr. Ed McGee. He's going to give you some special insight on our learning management system and really, insight into what it's like to be an online student. It is not necessarily part of a long history with us that we do our learning online, but one thing we have learned to do, and Ed, I'd say we've learned pretty quickly how to do it pretty doggone well, is teach in this new environment and provide services like we're doing tonight. So Brittany, is there anything else I should cover before I kick it over to you for the ground rules?
I think you've covered it.
All right. Well, thank you. Now I'm going to send you over to Brittany. She's going to go over the ground rules for the evening, tell you how, you can raise a hand, do a thumbs up or a clap or ask questions, stuff like that. And I think you've also got a poll for us that you want to provide. So Brittany, take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to see everyone's face and some familiar names here. So if this is anybody's first time doing a Zoom meeting, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see that you have a chat option. If you click the chat, that'll open it up where you're able to provide any comments or ask any questions there. And over to the right, you'll see you have a reactions. That's where you can give a thumbs up or a clap if you hear something you like. And if you click the participants option, you're able to raise a hand if you just have a question as we're, going through this and you don't want to interrupt. We'll see that your hand's raised and then we'll come back to you. But at any time in this meeting, feel free to put any questions that you have in the chat. And then on the bottom left-hand side, you're able to unmute and mute yourself. So feel free, if you want to speak, go ahead and just unmute yourself, okay? But that covers the ground rules for tonight. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to issue our first poll. It's just a little quick poll. We want to find out how you guys heard about this session. So I'm going to launch that now. And it's just asking, did you hear about us from, your high school? Did you find out through a text or an email, maybe a social media website? This just helps us figure out how we can connect best with you. And I'll give a few more seconds on this to answer. All right, so I'll go ahead and end that and show you the results. So looks like a good amount of you found out through text message. Some just heard from your high school, and then we've got some emails, and I'm glad to see a family member shared this session with you. And then we've got an other. Whoever put the other, would you want to unmute yourself or put in the chat how you heard about it that we didn't have up here for you?
Yeah, so I put the other. I applied to another university, and I was recommended to do CVCC for a year or two, or a semester or two, or whatever, and then reapply to the university.
Okay, awesome.
Great. That is, boy, that's smart. This guy, give him an A in something already.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Fantastic.
Yes, and just so you all know, the polls that we're going to do tonight, we can't see who's, they're anonymous, so there's no name attached to them, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end that poll. All right, and now we are ready to begin with our first presenter. I'm going to pass it on over to our college registrar, Karen Alexander, and she's going to speak to you about the admission process.
Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you, Brittany. We always love getting in front of groups like this to speak with our incoming students and let you know all the services that CVCC has to offer. And no matter whether we are face-to-face or in a virtual environment, no matter what your classes look like online or via Zoom, synchronous or not, we just want you to know that all the services are here and available to support you and hopefully answer all the questions you have as we go through the session tonight. So I want to welcome you. I think most of you on this call probably already applied to the college. If you've not, it's easy to do. You simply click on the website, click apply now. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes to do. If you've already applied, you will have gotten your confirmation. That will come immediately as soon as you submit the application. So if you have already gotten that, you don't have to wait on any kind of acceptance letter. Everything is instantaneous. Once you have your confirmation, you are an accepted CVCC student. So welcome. There are a couple things you can check if you're already starting the process or if you've already signed up for fall classes. You can check your account to see if there are any holds on your account. If there are, those are things we can help you with. If there's any holds for your domicile or your residency, be sure to check that. We'll have that on your confirmation from your email as soon as you apply. And it will tell you if you are coded as an in-state or out-of-state student. If you have been in the state of Virginia for at least a full year or a lifelong resident, you should be coded in-state, hopefully, if everything was answered correctly on your application. So you can check that. In-state tuition is the best available tuition rate that's reserved only for Virginia residents. It's about 1/3 of the out-of-state rate. So if you feel that you will qualify, please check to make sure you have that coded correctly on your account. And if not, if you have any questions, you can just contact the Admissions and Records Office. There is an appeal process you can fill out to get that adjusted. And you don't even have to wait until you begin meeting with our counselors and navigators. You can go ahead and do that now to get that all squared away and make the process of getting into your classes even easier. Now, a couple other things I want to touch on is your My CVCC account. If you have noticed in the upper right-hand corner of our website is My CVCC. This is where your student account lives. We call it SIS, or Student Information System. You can sign in here to see all the classes that you're registered for, your schedule, your tuition charges. You can actually register for your classes through this link. Your entire account lives online in that space. So if you've not already done so, take a moment to click in there, get your account set up, be familiar with all the services you have. You can request transcripts through there. Anything you need to do lives in your student account. Now, if you are starting the process of signing up for classes and you've not yet sent in your transcripts, please do so. Admissions and Records is receiving those daily electronically and via mail. So we're available for all services there. So please go ahead and get those in, your high school transcripts and any colleges you've been to, so we can transfer any credits you may already have, and we can help you get started even quicker. Now, one last thing I want to touch on is your CVCC email. If you are just getting started with us, you won't have that email address yet. Your email will come out when you first sign up for your first semester of CVCC classes. So in the meantime, feel free to use your personal email. You can communicate with us that way. We will help you virtually and through Zoom in any way that we can to get you set up. But be aware that when you sign up for your classes, you will get a CVCC email account that you can use to officially communicate with the college. And with that being said, our classes we'll talk about here as we get into our registration process, but we do have an 5-week 2 summer session that will be all online. That's going to start on June 23rd in a couple weeks. So if you're wanting to get a quick start, get some classes in over the summer, there's your chance to do that for 5-week 2 classes. And then of course our fall classes are currently scheduled to begin August 24th. So plenty of time to get in now. If you go ahead and register, you can get your pickup classes and we can help you through the entire process today. So that's all I have for you, but we'll all be on, as we said, till the end for a Q&A. So just think of your questions as we go through and we'll help you out. So I will now pass it over to Mr. Ryan McNamara. He's the Director of Financial Aid. And
Karen, we have a quick question for you, Karen.
Definitely.
So Michael posted in the chat asking about if military are eligible for in-state tuition.
That's a great question. We are a military-friendly school, and thank you for your service if you are military. Yes, all service members will qualify for in-state tuition. There's just a few things we may need to collect on that, but definitely contact us, and that should be a pretty easy. Most all service members will always qualify for in-state tuition. So yes, good question. And if there are no other questions at the moment, all right, I'll pass it off now to Ryan for financial aid.
Great. Thank you, Karen. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to share my screen with you all so you can see this quick PowerPoint that we're going to go through. And then obviously, if you have any questions afterwards, or if you want to wait till the very end of this hour session, and we can go through those as well. So you should see my screen now. So I first want to say welcome and congratulations. Congratulations to you seniors in high school that have just graduated recently, or congratulations also to those of you that have been out of school for a while and are considering and deciding going back to school. Congratulations to you as well. So a couple things that I want to talk about: how to pay for college. Karen went through step number 1, which was apply for admission to CVCC. So we're going to focus on the second bullet point there, apply for federal student aid. So the way you do that is you apply for the FAFSA. FAFSA is free application for federal student aid. The website is fafsa.gov. So fafsa.gov. Do not go to fafsa.com or fafsa.org. Those type websites are going to charge you for the same thing that you can do for free. If you have trouble with your FAFSA, submitting your FAFSA, working on your FAFSA, please reach out to our financial aid office. Our phone number is on the screen there, or at the end. The last slide is our contact information. That will also include our email address, so you can send us an email if you have questions or problems. So how much does CVCC cost? Again, like Karen had mentioned, the in-state tuition is the best rate available, and it's $161.25 per credit hour. All right, so if you are enrolled for 12 credit hours, which is full-time, it would be $161 times 12. So just to give you an idea of the cost. Like I had mentioned earlier, if you are planning to enroll this upcoming fall in August, you're going to want to complete your 2020-21 FAFSA. Again, you're going to go to fafsa.gov to apply for it. You'll need to create a federal student aid ID. That's your username and password. If you are under the age of 24, a parent will also need to create a username and password because parent information is required on the FAFSA, again, if you are under the age of 24. The last bullet there, I just want to let you know that if you submit the FAFSA, but there is additional documentation that the financial aid office needs, Please be sure that you submit that documentation as quickly as you can, because your financial aid is not final or finalized until all the documents that we need have been received, right? So why should you complete the FAFSA? So our most recent class, the spring 2020 students, 85% of those that submitted a FAFSA received some type of financial assistance. So 85% received some type of aid. Of those that did not submit the FAFSA, only 3% received financial aid. So again, in order to be eligible for most financial aid, we do need a FAFSA submitted, so that hopefully this slide encourages you to get that FAFSA into us, because we have money available and we want to award it to you. So some of the financial aid grants that you may be eligible for: there's federal grants, which is again based on the FAFSA. So the Pell Grant, if you are enrolled full-time, the maximum Pell Grant amount is about $6,300 a year that you may be eligible for. It's based on the need from the FAFSA, and it's for undergrad students. So that would be if you're pursuing your first undergraduate degree. The Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant is another federal grant. The one thing I want to focus on this is it is a first come, first served grant. So the sooner you apply for admission and the sooner you submit your FAFSA, if you're eligible for this grant, we have a limited amount of funds for it. So first come, first served. So the sooner you get everything in, the better off you would be. So we have some state grants, and these again are for Virginia residents. We have the Commonwealth Grant, and this is a need-based grant, so you need to submit the FAFSA. The award amount is up to tuition and fees, and you have to be enrolled at least 6 credit hours each semester in order to be eligible for this. So 6 credits is half time, so you have to be enrolled at least 6 credits. We have another state grant, which is PTAP, the Part-Time Tuition Assistance Program. And this is for Virginia students that are enrolled 1 to 8 credit hours. So if you're enrolled from 1 credit hour all the way up to full time, there is some type of state aid available to you. We also have a CVCC Educational Foundation. They award money to students each semester. So there is an application, a separate application that you do need to submit in order to be eligible or in the running for that. For this upcoming fall semester, the application is open. It's open from March 1st up through August. And again, the link is there at the bottom of this page. And so I just want you to know that there is also not only federal money and state money, but there's also institutional money from donors that have given to the college. We also have loans that are available. So these loans are guaranteed. They do not go through a credit check. If you complete your FAFSA and you fill out the online paperwork for the loans, you're eligible for a student loan. Again, it does not go through any type of credit check. So if you're interested in working while on campus, if you're interested in working on campus, there are jobs available in a work study program. So just to give you a little information on it, average student works about 15 hours a week. You get paid for the hours that you work like a regular job. It's a good way for you to do school and work all in the same place, and it's a convenient way for you also to make money while you're completing your coursework. We have a net price calculator on our website. So if you're interested in trying to figure out how much financial aid you may be eligible for, you can go to that net price calculator. It takes no more than 30 seconds. It asks you a few questions, and it will give you an estimate of the financial aid that you may be eligible for. We also offer a tuition payment plan. So if you have a balance due for the semester and you are unable to pay it all up front at one time, you can go on the monthly payment plan. It spreads your payment over 3 or 4 months, so it's a little easier to make smaller monthly payments than one lump sum payment. So that is an option for you as well. So question, can you use financial aid to purchase books and maybe even a laptop? And the good news is yes, you can. So financial aid is available for you for books and supplies through our bookstore. So that is an added benefit because you don't, if your financial aid covers it, you don't need to come up with money out of pocket. You can just use your financial aid for those books and supplies. And lastly, I want you to know, obviously things have changed. Why do I say that? Because your FAFSA that you're submitting for this upcoming fall, your 2020-21 FAFSA, is looking at 2018 income information. Obviously, things have changed since 2018. Primarily, I'm speaking about family income. So if a parent or you or somebody has either lost a job or your hours have been reduced from work and you're just not making as much that you made in 2018, we in the financial aid office can possibly make an adjustment to your FAFSA so that your FAFSA is reflecting current 2020 household information, not 2018 information. So again, if you think that's something that may apply to you, please reach out to our financial aid office and we can walk you through it and kind of talk to you about it. So on this slide, this is the last one. This is our contact information. Our email address is financialaid@centralvirginia.edu. If you would like a copy of this PowerPoint presentation, feel free to send us an email and we can email this PowerPoint presentation to you so you have it if you need to take a look at it a little further in depth, because I know we went through it kind of fast. So that is what I have for you. So I'm going to go back to my picture. Brittany, any questions? No questions?
So it looks like Brandon just posted a question. What if we have sent the FAFSA to the CVCC, but he's not seeing it maybe on his student account?
Okay. Yeah, so I would say email us. If you can email us, we can look it up and see what's going on with your FAFSA. We just may have not received it yet, or there may be a problem, but we can look into that. So send us an email, just give us your first and last name, and we should be able to look it up. So email that financialaid@centralvirginia.edu. All right.
And then one more question about work study. Is that something you apply for in person or do you do that online?
That's a good question. Is there anybody on here that can answer that? Brittany, you want to answer it?
Sure.
You're raising your hand.
There is an online application, Brooke. So good question. It is an online application that you can complete, and then that gets taken to the admissions and records office. Is that correct, Dean Ferris?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then I'll just put some advice out there as you meet people on campus. Ask them in the office, are they looking for a work study position? So they know that you're interested, and then they know to check to see if you've applied. And they can always share a little bit of information about the job that you're interested in too. So that way it can just kind of help you make a connection.
All right. So that's the financial aid portion. And so now we are going to pass it on to Ed McGee, who is going to go over the online learning aspects for you.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen as well. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about online learning. It's a really big deal right now, particularly with COVID-19. As you know, most or all schools are completely online at this point, and we have been for the end of the spring semester and beginning of the fall semester. So we're in a special time. So first off, I just want to let you know, let you know a little bit about myself. I'm Ed McGee. I'm the coordinator of distance education and instructional technology. I'm showing you a picture of me and my three-legged dog because I know how to warm up an audience. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to contradict Dean Ferris for a second. As he mentioned earlier, now we have not been completely online for very long. However, CVCC has been doing online courses for quite a while. CVCC actually began doing online instruction in 1999. I have been, and as I said, that was just the introduction to it. I've been with CVCC for 7 years, but I actually worked at a VCCS school before this. So I actually began doing online support in 1997. So yeah, we have been doing this for a long time, and I don't mind saying it. My old school, I used to connect with CVCC back in the early 2000s for live, at that time, just compressed video classes. Now we call it live online. All right, So online learning, what is it? First, we're going to talk a little bit about distance education. That's what everybody really associates online learning with. Uh, a distance education course typically is going to be something that's not time dependent. Now, as a student, if you take a distance education course that's completely online, when I say it's not time dependent, that doesn't mean that you don't have due dates or that you can, join the course 3 weeks into it or something like that. It means that you can work on it on your own time. You're going to have regular due dates, hopefully once or twice a week. Okay. But even going back to before COVID-19, the most common reason why a student would take a distance ed class was not because of distance, it was because of time. The second reason we would use online learning is to support our face-to-face classes. Most of our instructors actually use online presence, even if they're doing face-to-face. Right now, obviously, we're completely online. And that's just to make communication easier, to store documents, to keep your assignments, your syllabus, and things like that. And then the third thing we do with online learning is what we call live online. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. It's an actual class that's going to happen at a specific time, and you're going to log in just like you did tonight and actually see and hear the instructor and the other students in the course. All right, so the way we do our courses, we use a management system, learning management system called Canvas. Many of you may have used something like this before, perhaps have used Blackboard or have used Google Classroom. I don't mind saying Canvas is better, a lot easier for students. Give you a quick demo if we have time in just a minute. So what does Canvas do? It allows you to communicate with your instructors and your instructors to communicate with you. Makes communication online a lot easier. Hopefully your course is set up in learning modules. So that way, week to week or module to module, you'll have your assignments, your reading, hopefully some links, things like that, and due dates going module to module. Again, it'll also keep your assignments so you can keep track of it. And it might be where you take your tests and quizzes. And again, hopefully your class is interactive and you can have some good discussions in what we call a discussion board. Now, our live online classes, that's conducted through Zoom, as I said earlier. I was going to do some slides on what it's like to be in a Zoom session, and then I said, yeah, that was dumb because you obviously know how to do that at this point. And just to let you know that I don't do this all by myself. This is the distance ed department. I'm gonna go right to left here. Gail Kiger is actually our Canvas administrator. She works a lot with students. I work with students as well. Chris Collins is a multimedia specialist. He does most of our live online classes. Moving on to Connie Deacon, she also works with live online, but she also does something really cool, and that's she does shared services. What shared services is, since we're in this big system called the VCCS, there's 23 colleges. If for some reason CVCC can't offer you a course that you need to graduate, you can contact one of the counselors or they'll let you know, and we will go out and find that course for you at another college if we can. So if you're in a situation where you're looking at our schedule and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I need this course, or I can't fulfill my requirements this semester, we can definitely help you with that. Okay. I am gonna go ahead and give a quick demo of Canvas just so you know what it looks like. And go back to my screen share. Okay, so when you log into Canvas, this is what you're going to see. Obviously, I have a whole bunch of classes, but you'll just see your courses here. And then over to the left, you have other options. You'll have an inbox over here where you can email your instructor. And this is nice because it keeps all of your emails with your instructors in one place. you can really keep track of things better. It doesn't get lost in some other email somewhere. And then the other really cool thing is the calendar. I click to my calendar. It's a little unhappy right now. There it goes. Your calendar will actually show you everything that's due in all of your classes. So again, it's a really nice way to be able to keep track of things. If you're like me, I don't want to have to go into each class and look for due dates. I can look at my calendar and see all my due dates. And I don't have any due dates because I'm not taking any classes. But if you were in the middle of the semester, you would have due dates all over this calendar. You can go back to my dashboard. And I'm just going to jump into one of these classes. When you go to your class, you would just choose a class. And hopefully you would see something similar to this, where this would be like a module. And you would just go step by step by step, an assignment to a discussion, possibly a quiz, possibly a document that you need to look at. And then when you're done with the module, you would move on to the next module. So that's pretty easy. The last thing I'm just going to point out while I have your attention is once you get your login information and your classes, absolutely be sure to download the Canvas application on your phone if you have it. It is a very nice application. Again, it'll keep track of your assignments for you, your communication, and give you notifications. You can actually do a lot with just your cell phone as far as keeping track of your classes. So it's really convenient that way. So does anybody have any questions?
No questions right now in the chat.
Okay. In that case, I will kick it back to Brittany.
Great, thank you, Ed. Hi, everyone, again. My name is Brittany, one of the college navigators at CVCC, and my role is to help you be successful throughout your first year. So we have heard a little bit about the application process from Karen and the financial aid process from Ryan. Those are two applications and processes that I'm here to help you with if you're needing that. So if you haven't yet completed that FAFSA, just reach out to one of us, and then we're happy to kind of walk you through that. We also have staff in the financial aid office that can help you. But once you have completed those processes, then you're ready to start making your class schedule, which can be very exciting. So first, I want to congratulate all of the recent grads, the seniors, the high school seniors we may have on this call. For those of you that may have kind of recently graduated, or you may be a few years out, we also congratulate you on taking this next step. Maybe it's a career change or a job change. So what we work with you first on is determining your placement. If you are a recent high school graduate within the last 5 years, we can look at your high school GPA or SAT or ACT scores. So make sure, like Karen mentioned, get those transcripts sent in if you haven't already. That way we can review them so we can determine your placement. If we are unable to use your high school GPA or test scores, then we have a few other methods in place. Typically, we have a placement test that we would have come to your high school and had you take, or you would have done it on campus with us. Currently working remotely with everything being virtual, we do have a couple other methods we can share with you. We have a practice test we can send you and a couple other forms to go over. Again, the point of this is just to make sure you're placed in the right class that you need and that you're ready for. If you are 5 years out of high school, we do have an adult self-informed option, which is essentially something we go over with you where you're deciding what class you're placing yourself into. And then if you, like Karen had mentioned, if you happen to have taken college level classes elsewhere and you may be transferring to us from another school, get those college transcripts in, especially if you've done English or math, because then we can count those as possible meeting the prereqs for other classes. But once placement has been determined, then we can actually get you enrolled. We can help you enroll for the first time and show you how to do that. You very well may be able to enroll yourself too. But we're here to kind of help guide you and make sure that you know what classes are needed for your degree path. And then if you have any questions, I know Ed kind of covered the different options for online classes. Right now, we're meeting virtually online just like this in a Zoom meeting for classes. And then there's some that are completely virtual. So we can kind of help you pick out your classes if you're looking for a combination of ones that meet at a certain time or ones that are just totally virtual online. So that is the process of getting enrolled, and I will provide all of our contact information near the end so you'll know how to reach us. We're available to meet for appointments just like this through a Zoom session. You can also meet with us over the phone if you're more comfortable doing that. And then, of course, you can reach us by email. So next, we've got one more poll for you where we're going to figure out what programs that you guys are interested in studying. So let's see here. Let me get this down. I apologize. Oops, I might be having a technical difficulty with the poll here. Here we go. I'm going to launch it now. Sorry about that. Okay, so you guys should be seeing your options for some different degree paths. So go ahead and review these if you're interested in, welding or machining, transferring, criminal justice. There's lots of options here. Good, it's looking like we've got a good variety. I'll give everyone a few more moments. And I think it only allows you to select one. Just pick the one you're most interested in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this poll and share these results with you. So you all should be able to see these results now. And it looks like we've got a pretty good variety. We've got some students interested in transferring. We've got some interested in the technical studies for paramedic or welding, and our radiology and respiratory. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop that poll. And now I'm going to pass it on to one of our academic counselors, Mark Zacola, to talk to you a little bit more about those programs.
Thank you, Brittany. Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. Most students enroll at CVCC have one or two goals in mind. You're wanting to earn a trade, acquire a skill, enter the workforce as soon as possible, or you're looking to transfer. And we're going to look at those two roads this evening. So those of you interested in culinary or welding, mechatronics, one of our allied health programs, you're wanting to secure that position probably sooner rather than later. Every time you enter a classroom, you are auditioning for a job. Our instructors have contacts all across this region, some beyond this region, for possible professional opportunities once you've graduated. Every time you go into class, they're going to be looking to see, do you show up on time? Are you prepared? Have you done your homework? Have you done the readings? Your projects? Have you done them to the best of your ability? Are you putting your all into those classes? Because when these area businesses call them for referrals on, hey, who do you have good that's getting ready to graduate? Your name's going to get mentioned if you've given it your best. We've got many different options, from small career study certificates that could be done in as short a time as 2 semesters, up to degrees that will take you at least 2 years to complete. So please take a look at what we offer, contact Brittany, myself, our team to find out, gee, what have you got out there? Tell me a little bit about those programs, and we'd be happy to talk to you about those opportunities. On the transfer side of things, the role of the community college is to fulfill those general requirements that all four-year schools are going to require of you. Your Englishes, your histories, maths, lab sciences, speech, on and on. You can do those here at CVCC for a fraction of the cost. And we've got some incentives for you to secure that associate's degree in the form of guaranteed admission agreements and articulation agreements. These essentially are contracts between CVCC and the four-year institution, be it public or private, which states if you fulfill all of the steps within this contract, there will be a seat waiting for you in that semester with your name on it. And that's a pretty nice perk. You don't have the anxiety or the worry, ooh, what if they get lots of applications this semester? It doesn't matter. If you fulfill the obligations of that contract, you're there, no matter how many applications are sent in. Another thing with that associate's degree, four-year institutions, I don't want to say they prefer, but they know they can count on students that have secured that associate's degree. It shows that you know how to set goals and achieve them. You're disciplined, you know how to study. You're pretty much a sure thing that getting onto that four-year school, hey, I've done this before, I've done it at CVCC, I can do it here. I've developed my skills and I can transfer them over here and do very, very well. So we've got lots of support services here at CVCC, whether you're going trade, technical, or academic. We've got student accessibilities department. We've got a math lab. We offer free tutoring. We have a writing center. Lots of resources to help you do your very best. I'd like to wrap this segment up with a story about a resource that there's no title for it. There's no office for it. Penny was one of our students some years ago, and not all home lives are created equal. Some are better than others. And Penny did not have a lot of encouragement and support within the confines of her home. There wasn't an emphasis on education, but Penny knew education was important to her, that this was a way for her to reach her goals and her dreams. And for some reason, well, she and I met quite often, and she was able to develop a confidence and a support base here at CVCC. She got involved in campus activities. She started believing in herself, and she started developing that confidence that is so important in your academic and really in life's journey. We all do a whole lot better when we're feeling good about ourselves and confident in what we can accomplish and what we can do. And CVCC, we're not the biggest school on the planet, but we've got an awful lot of people here that care about you. And if you take the time, give us a chance, get to know us, if you want that support, if you want that help, there's going to be at least one person on campus, I guarantee it, that you will click with, that you will say, hey, that person believes in me and will help plant that seed that, yes, I can do this. So on that note, lots of folks here this evening, please tell your friends, Tell your family. We don't want CVCC being a secret. Again, as Karen mentioned, we've got classes starting in a couple of weeks for second 5-week summer, classes in August for the fall semester. We hope to see you. Give us a call. I'm going to send it back to Brittany for a yummy poll. Brittany.
Thank you, Mark. All right, we've got another poll for you guys. And this one is kind of a fun poll. We want to know, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? And we will explain why in just a minute. So I'll let you guys pick your favorite ice cream flavors here.
Uh-oh, we've got a shakeup in the ice cream flavor wars here.
Yeah.
We've got a new leader. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got? Cookie dough's making a surge. Oh, look at our new leader though.
Yeah.
We love these polls.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this poll and then share these results with you. So looks like chocolate won, but just barely. We've got cookies and cream and mint chocolate chip and cookie dough tied.
Nice.
And then we're curious, what are those others? So it looks like a couple people selected other. Do you want to unmute yourself and say, or type in the chat, what are those other flavors we didn't have? Coffee. Elizabeth wrote coffee. That's a good one. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that poll for you. So thank you guys for answering that. Now that leads into Miss Deanne McDaniel. She is our student activities coordinator. So I'm going to pass it on to her and she can talk about why we just wanted to know what ice cream flavor you like.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Brittany. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. So I'm going to do a quick and down and dirty run about student activities. So kind of the important areas of student activities are, we provide you with your involvement on campus. So that's kind of your student organizations, leadership opportunities, volunteering, things of that nature, your activities. So that's what we provide for you. The biggest areas under student activities are, of course, activities that we do for you on a monthly, weekly basis, but also I am the advisor for the Student Government Association, and then I work alongside of Brittany Cochran and Kimberly French, who, if you've been on the call before, you've met, who are the advisors for the Student Ambassador Program, which is a leadership opportunity on campus, and they work very closely with Student Government Association, so we all work together with that group. But also, the reason why that you had the poll for tonight is that when we are on campus, as I mentioned, we do a lot of activities. And one of those is we kick off the year with a welcome back picnic where we have ice cream vendors as our dessert. So it's always good to know the variety of ice creams to bring on campus. And then we also end the semester with one. We also do, we have Halloween costume contests. We have virtual entertainment that we bring in. So we do have a lot of things that we try to help you guys, get out of class and rest, relax, and unwind some through the activities that we provide to you. So regardless of whether we're online or on campus, we'll be providing a variety of activities come the fall semester. It'll make me get creative if we're online with some of the activities, but we'll be doing things virtually as well as on campus to include everyone in our activities this coming semester. So thank you for joining us this evening, and I'm going to turn it back over to Brittany for our Q&A.
Great, thank you, Deanne. Okay, so now we have entered our question and answer time. So feel free to either raise your hand or just unmute yourself or go ahead and type any questions you may have in the chat so we can get those answered for you. No questions? Quiet group? All right, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat just yet. Now remember, you can unmute yourself by selecting the little mute option in the bottom left of your screen.
Brittany, I have a question.
Okay.
For the group. So I'm just curious for everyone that's on the call tonight, was there a certain thing that you came onto this call for that has not been answered yet? Is there a reason, what reason did you come, and have we not answered that yet?
Financial aid.
That's this guy.
All right, do you have a question? Or were you just wanting to come tonight to hear about financial aid? Did we answer your questions?
Yeah, just to hear about it. I got in late.
Okay, very good. Great. Did you hear the financial aid portion?
No,
Okay, can you do me a favor? Do you have something to write with?
I can grab something really quick.
Okay. I want you to email financialaid@centralvirginia.edu. So that's our email address. I want you to email us and tell us that you came in late, and I'm going to email you the PowerPoint slides for financial aid, okay?
Can you tell me the email one more time?
Yes, it's financial aid, all one word, financial aid
Okay.
@centralvirginia.edu.
Okay, thank
And
you.
just in the email, say you got to the info session a little late, you missed the financial aid portion, and we can email you that PowerPoint. Good question. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Brittany, for putting everybody's contact information in there. We appreciate that. That will
You're welcome.
any of the folks that after this, if you have any follow-up questions, we are all very happy to take your questions. We love questions. Any other questions?
So we have a good one.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. The question of, will CVCC be completely online in the fall?
Well, remember when I said we really like questions? We will be, it'll be a mix, frankly. While we cherish the one-on-one relationships and in-person relationships that we have with our students, we are still in the midst of a global pandemic, and we will be open somewhat. It's not going to look like what it looked like last fall, but there will be students on campus this fall. Now, what I would also recommend, we are very, very close to being able to make our official announcement for fall. And I think a lot of folks are going to be happy with it. I would stay tuned to your CVCC email. I would stay tuned to our website, because it's going to be it's going to look and feel a little different than usual. But that's okay, because we'll still be doing this kind of thing. As Ed said, yeah, we've been doing online classes a long, long time. We've never quite been in this scenario, but we're going to see a bunch of different kind of technological advances too with how we do what we do. So it's an exciting time. Long-winded answer, I know it's not a simple one to answer, but we will not be completely online for fall. We were for summer. We're gonna see a little bit of a presence on campus in our end of summer classes, and just like the rest of the country and the rest of the Commonwealth, we will be phasing out of, and if necessary, back into different stages of in-person capability. But what a great question that is. And I can tell you, this group of folks, we meet every day almost. We're talking about it constantly because we want nothing more than to be able to see you again. But, that's not the world we're living in right now. And we've got to pay extra special attention to the health and safety of all of our students and staff as well. So great question. Any other questions along those lines? Because that is a big deal, I can tell you.
So we've got one more question. This is a good one. Brandon's asking if CVCC has any sports clubs other than baseball.
Well, what would you like, Brandon? Dan, listen up.
This is recording and being good. So, so Brandon, to answer your question, our club sports are driven by the students. We actually, before COVID came about, and then in the fall semester, we were slowly starting on soccer, and we've had some students that were interested in basketball. So like I said, it's definitely student driven. Usually what I ask is that if you know you have a sport that you're interested in, if you can get a group of names together and bring them to me, and then we can find an advisor, and then we can go from there. So that's usually how we do it. We've shifted a little, and we're starting to focus on esports right now with us being virtual. So that's kind of the focus we've been doing the spring, and this summer we're doing the esports virtually since we can't be on campus right now. But yeah, we're always open to new things. So that's how we have to do it. And my office is in the student center, or you have my contact information. You can email me if you have any specific questions about a sport.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there a specific sport you're looking for, Brandon?
Not really. I was just interested.
Thanks.
So it looks like we've got a little bit more, another question based on, being on campus or not. So they're asking, since you had mentioned we'll be kind of doing this in phases, will the students have a choice of being online or being on campus?
Yeah, we're going to have a different range of courses. So one thing, wow, what a perfect question. So I want to see if I can share my screen, and gosh, I hope I do this correctly. I wanted to show you all something on the website, and let's see if I can pull it up quickly. We have a listing on our homepage that will take you directly to a list of all of our classes. And they're going to be updated over the course of the next week or so. But you'll be able to see whether it's a virtual class or whether it's an on-campus class. And let's see if I can share my screen. So can we see it?
Yes.
This is what it looks like. Probably looks a little old school for some folks, but we've had a pretty high demand for this kind of thing, and you can just scroll through, and these are all the classes that we offer. And if you want to search for just like one type of class, you can do that too. But this is something that students seem to really like, just to being able to scroll through something and say, okay, here's this, anatomy and physiology. This one's on main campus. This one's virtual, and so on and so forth. And I would qualify this by saying, what you see out there right now is a reflection of what we had desired really before COVID. And it's going to be changing a little bit over the course of the next few weeks. So keep an eye on that. But great question. Any other questions along those lines?
I just want to say, if you are currently enrolled in classes, if there are any changes made to your specific sections that you're enrolled in, we will notify students. So please do check your CVCC email, make sure it is set up. We'll call, email, but make sure your CVCC email is established so you can look for any changes that may come through for your specific classes.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. That's great advice. And honestly, it's a good idea as you all enter this world of academia and going to college. It's a good idea to do two things every day. Check your email, check your student account. Just like, some of us old folks here, I check my bank account every day. It's part of what I do. It's part of my daily routine. I get up, I see what's there, what's not there, and then I go on about my day. It's a good idea every day to interact with us that way, because you never know. I mean, there's always something that could pop up. Canvas as well. I am also a student right now, and I will tell you that every single day I log in to see, if there's something that I need to do or that I've missed. It's just a really, really good idea. Stay connected. Stay with us. And what else do we have, Brittany? Do we have any other thing happening tonight, or?
So no other questions. Oh, nope. We've got
We got one from Anna.
Yeah. So when will dual enrolled students beginning their class schedules, and what types of classes are going to be available to the dual enrolled? So we will let Miss Donna Grant Page answer that, our dual enrollment coordinator.
Clearly, Anna, you are the best one on the call tonight. I'm going to assume that you are in the Campbell County cohort if you're looking for your class schedule. And if you are, Ashley Wilson usually sends those out mid-July with the whole packet. And I'll also be doing a little Zoom session with all the Campbell County CTE kids. So be on the lookout for that. You check in your emails and text messages for that. As for other classes, as long as you qualify for another class and you have permission from the school, you can take the class. Did that answer your question?
That was a good question.
Yeah.
Excellent question.
Great. Yep. She said yes. Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you. And my contact information is in there also, Anna, if you had any other questions.
Good question. I just want to let everyone know, so we do these live sessions every Tuesday, but we also have some mini sessions coming up in June. We have one tomorrow at 2:30 for those that were interested in respiratory. I think a couple people selected that, and we have them coming up throughout June. So if you're interested in joining any of those mini sessions, they start at 2:30. They're just a half an hour session. Go ahead and just reach out to one of us, and we'll be happy to make sure that you've got the link to join that meeting, okay? But tomorrow is respiratory. All right, I have one final poll for you all. So let me get this up here for you. And I'm gonna launch that, and that is just to let us know how we did. We wanna know if this was helpful for you and that we did our job and shared all of the information that you were looking for. So if you would please just answer those questions for us. And again, it is anonymous. Hopefully everyone learned something new or got some helpful information. All right, so I'll go ahead and wrap this up. So it looks like for the most part we did, but somebody didn't find anything new about us or helpful. So if you want to privately reach out to one of us, and we'll be happy to address any, answer any more questions that you had. Maybe there was some different information that wasn't covered. You can also go on our YouTube channel, Central Virginia Community College's YouTube, and go see previous recordings where we had some other guest speakers. So if you are all interested in, learning some information from other speakers, you can find that there. All right. Well, thank you all for doing.
Yeah, for the couple folks that because the last thing we want to do, we know everybody's super busy. Last thing we'd want to do is waste anybody's time. We do care, and I care. If there's something, I think my contact information is in the chat box there. Feel free to shoot me an email. We always want to be better. So yeah, just please know that. And I'm glad to, we'll make some changes, or, we can talk back and forth. We really appreciate the feedback. We're not always looking for, hey, everything was perfect. So if a person or two has something a good suggestion, hey, we'll do it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, well, we don't have any more questions, so that wraps up this evening's session. Thank you all for joining, and we look forward to meeting with you in the fall, hopefully, and seeing you on campus.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Have a good night, and special thanks to our presenters tonight. Very good job, as always. Thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
All right, I think that